Hey everybody, it's Tim Van Orden, and today I would like to talk about the difference between planning and doing. I know a lot of people who are planning to eat better. They're planning to exercise more. They're planning to read more. They're planning to do more yoga and meditate. They're planning to do lots of things, but I rarely see them actually taking steps. So I want to distinguish the different types of selves that show up in the process of planning versus the process of doing, and how you can combine them into one aspect of self that actually gets things done. We want to show the planning self that exercise is important in this moment as well, not just in some future plan moment, tomorrow or next week or at New Year's or on my birthday, whatever. We want to show the planner that it can also be a doer and that exercise has value now and always, not just inside of this planned context. So here's a quick example. Someone says to me, I plan on going to the gym tomorrow, or I plan on getting a gym membership tomorrow. Great, that's awesome, good idea. But rather than committing to some large thing right now, the moment that I think exercise is a good idea, let me do 5 of something. 5 squats, 5 push-ups, 5 steps out of my chair, 5 minutes of walking. Something small, but yet something that's related to movement and exercise. And essentially what you're doing is showing the planner that it can also be a doer. Because one of the areas where people really get stuck is that we create these very different compartments of self, different categories of self. The planning self, the doing self, the experiencing self, the dreaming self, the many versions of self, the avoiding self, procrastinating self. And by creating these categories, what we're doing is creating different behaviors, different modes of action related to each version of us. So if I'm the planning self, well then what I'm doing right now is planning. I'm not the person that does things. I'm the person that thinks about things, that creates motivation or inspiration and comes up with this big dreamy image that's really satisfying. And by the way, because it's really satisfying, you're less likely to take action because you already got the payoff. You imagined it, it felt good, it looked good, you looked good and felt good in the image, and therefore you no longer need to take action because now you feel good. Why did you want to exercise? Because you didn't feel good. Now you feel good. So why should you exercise? So by making it super small in this moment, not only do you make it doable, but you show the planner that it doesn't need to only be a planner. It can also be a doer. So rather than having these very distinct categories, the planner and the doer, that generally don't even know each other or understand each other. The planner has no idea what the doer is going to be facing tomorrow. The planner isn't planning for that person. They're simply imagining a perfect version of you that's going to have more energy, more motivation, and is more inspired than you are right now. Because if you had the energy right now, well, you would do it, but you don't. But tomorrow you're going to. And then tomorrow shows up, and do you have more energy? Are you inspired? Are you motivated? Probably not. For most people, the most energy they have is when they're in planning mode because it's exciting to think about who they're going to become. But then who they actually are on the scheduled date of departure or engagement is just them again, probably with less energy. So, rather than planning for a future you that you didn't really consider in your plans, make it smaller in the moment of the plan and start now. Don't start tomorrow with a different version of you. Start now and show the planner who you are in the midst of movement. Oh, exercise is important? Great. Let's do 5 squats right now. That's exercise. See, planner, you can do it too. Doesn't need to be big. Doesn't need to be earth-shattering. I don't need to get pumped or be exhausted or vomit or any of those ridiculous things. I can simply move my body right now and that's enough. That's exercise. And then I can do it again in 20 minutes and again in an hour, as often as I want to. So I'm not just a planner, I'm a doer. You have to show yourself that you can do things, small things that add up. So I hope there's some value in there for you. Please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are. How do you plan? How do you engage? And do you see the difference between these two versions of yourself? And how do you square that when you take action? All right, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you hate it, please give it 2 thumbs down. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do. And if you want to help me create more content, come on over to Patreon, where $1 or $2 a month allows me to do a lot more of this. Okay? I'll see you soon.